Did Tesla get cryptojacked? $20 trillion in Bitcoin for free? PayPal executives hopping on the Bitcoin bandwagon. Venezuela raises almost $1 billion for its petro-backed cryptocurrency in its first day. And as bears predicted, the 11.8 mark would be very difficult for Bitcoin to penetrate. We saw it send the whole market back into a downturn today. We're going to be covering all the headlines and some daily market analysis. Strap in because I'm Elio Trades, and this is your FUD TV Daily Update. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a red day. It is a sad day. We were making such good progress over the entirety of the last 7 to 10 days. We were growing. We saw Bitcoin taking a real bullish turn of events upwards. And of course, the historic 11.8 mark was slightly penetrated. We were over the 11.8 mark for a few minutes, but it didn't last. And down we went. Bitcoin plummeted 10% in our 24-hour period, looking like it's still heading downwards a bit. And yet the Bitcoin dominance up here is near 40%. That means Bitcoin dominance actually went up as the price of Bitcoin went down. That's not a good combination of events. That means that the whole market is taking a downturn even worse than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is coming to occupy more of the market as it's falling in price. Not a good sign. But let's take a little bit of a peek at what could have happened on the Bitcoin charts. We know that the 11.8 mark is a very important mark for bullish predictions. If it is able to successfully break 11.8 and hold that value, then a lot of bulls predict that it will jump all the way past 12, all the way past 13, and it will be back on its bull run towards its all-time high. But the 11.8 mark unfortunately proved to be very strong resistance. As we see, it ran up against 11.8, got pulled back here at about what it's representing as UTC around 11:30 yesterday, and then all of a sudden, boom, just starts getting pulled back all the way into the evening. And yep, and here we are in the morning now, and it is down. So what does this mean? We're going to check out a few more prices. As we see, there's a few gainers here. DigiDAO making a little move. Tether's always obviously stuck, pegged. And then we see the biggest loser here in the top 100 is Polymath. We're going to be doing a little Polymath investigation. Very cool coin that you should be aware of. And this price, as it dips below $1, yeah, I think about $1 is where I'd feel comfortable buying Polymath. As we get down here, 0x, Lisk, Byteball Bytes, Particle, Redcoin. These are all pretty big losers here in the double digits. But again, we're not losing anything in the 40 to 50% range. This isn't hyper volatile. This is still, not little, but these are medium reds. This is a little bit of a pullback from the market as we're trying to rock our way up above that 10K Bitcoin, stay there, and start building towards our $830 billion mark. Of course, guys, remember this is crypto. Everything is ups and downs. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sometimes the other way around. And we're just hoping that this is a path towards sustainable growth. It's obviously not pretty when we wake up and only 3 of the top 10 currencies are in the green in the top 100. And one of those is Tether, meaning that there's really only 2. Anyway, that's the daily crypto market analysis. Let's hop over to some headlines. This was confirmed by cloud security intelligence, CSI, firm Redlock, which exposed the fact that one of Tesla's Kubernetes software containers was not password protected, allowing for the hackers to essentially utilize computing power in the cloud to mine Bitcoin. They actually did a good job of covering their tracks by not using any known mining pools. They were also able to keep the miners from running too hot, so it kept anything from triggering too many alarms with overusage of the CPUs, which is actually a common practice now of big companies to detect sort of illicit mining within their servers, which is funny, but also makes total sense that if you're a big company with a lot of server power, you can't have it being stolen to mine on. And in Japan, a software glitch allowed for a $20 trillion transaction of Bitcoin to be sold for the price of 0 yen. That's right, 0 yen. That's a steal. I'll take that deal almost any day. For 18 whole minutes on February 16th, the users of Zaif, a Japanese coin exchange, were able to find out that they could trade Bitcoin for 0 yen. Now, if that happened to you, how many Bitcoin would you buy? Probably more than 1. Turns out that they ended up buying over $20 trillion worth of Bitcoin before the problem was resolved. Wow. This is yet another bad piece of news around cryptocurrency and hacks coming out of Japanese coin exchanges. This is in the wake of the $500 million hack of Japanese exchange CoinCheck, which happened earlier this year and is the largest in cryptocurrency history. This is not a great thing. There's not a lot of details yet forthcoming. I'm assuming that this $20 trillion in Bitcoin was not actually delivered and was not made good upon by the exchange. Hopefully that's the case, and this doesn't affect any of us out there in the Bitcoin market. But again, more news about what can and can't go wrong in the cryptocurrency space. A PayPal executive has recently declared that Bitcoin will very highly likely be a commonly used currency of the future. PayPal's chief financial officer, John Rainey, said given the volatility of Bitcoin right now, it's not a reliable currency for transactions because if you're a merchant and you have 10% profit margin and you accept Bitcoin, the very next day Bitcoin drops 15%, you're now underwater on that transaction. In response to the question as to whether Bitcoin will actually make it to being used as a global currency, Rainey adds that it is very highly likely. In fact, the technology is there to merit it, and that it will just be several years before the kind of ubiquity and acceptance make it possible for this currency to be used globally. Again, this is not a huge make or break piece of news. This is just another brick in the wall of people starting to understand and accept Bitcoin as a global currency, a store of value, and a very sensible way to transact in the modern day. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro claims that he raised $735 million in the first day of selling the Venezuelan petrocrypto. Venezuela is the first country that has launched its own state-sponsored cryptocurrency, and this is being backed by the petro or oil industry that is local to the Venezuelan economy. There's a lot that's really not known about this cryptocurrency, such as where did the money come from? Is it really $735 million? And also, there's an opposition party within the country that declares this cryptocurrency sale illegal and unconstitutional. So it seems like Venezuela itself is not firmly rooted in this plan, and that there's going to be a lot of chapters forthcoming from this saga that is the petrocrypto. And personally, I would advise extreme caution when proceeding with examining this petrocrypto, given the geopolitical climate and Venezuela's track record. That said, this is a very exciting movement as we have one of our first ever state-sponsored national cryptocurrencies, which is in some ways revolutionary. So while we won't be investing, we do applaud Venezuela for taking a brave step into the future. Thanks so much for watching our daily news update. I'm Elio Trades. We'd like to remind you that we are not financial advisors and that everything you've heard today is just our opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps us and YouTube know you enjoyed this content and shares it with more viewers. Once again, we'll catch you on the next episode of FUD TV. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and we thank you so much for being with us.